North of 10 years after the occasions of the main film, the film starts with Jake Tarnish portraying his unassuming and tranquil life as head of the Omaticaya faction and raising a family with his significant other Neytiri, which incorporates his children Medium and Loak and his girl Tuck, his embraced little girl Kiri, brought into the world from effortlessness Augustine's sluggish Gnostic symbol, and a human kid named Bug, the child of Miles Quaritch who was brought into the world on Pandora, yet couldn't be shipped to Earth in cryostasis. While Jake can acknowledge Bug as an embraced child, Neytiri is incredulous of him given his human starting points. In any case, every one of the youngsters blend and mingle well with one another including Bug, whom Kiri is warm with despite the fact that he is a human. Bug doesn't embrace his human legacy and feels more lean to Gnostic's culture and customs. They carry on with a typical existence until one day they notice a peculiar star in the night sky. Once more, much regrettably, they understand it's a RDA space transport with people getting back to Pandora to colonize it, raising another super working base. Among the fresh debuts in the boat is Colonel Quaritch, who has been cloned into a Gnostic's body and with his recollections transferred from before his demise. Subsequently, Quaritch can't recall his destruction on account of Jake, however is simply ready to remember the occasions before and his vindictive mission to wipe out Jake. To keep the RDA from taking advantage of Pandora once more, Jake drives an essential guerrilla activity against the RDA supply lines, debilitating them. In one of the tasks, Loak, who ignores Medium and anxious to show what him can do, attempts to help Jake in fight yet gets injured. Jake safeguards and teaches him to not jeopardize his own well-being by being crazy. That evening, while at the same time keeping an eye on his injuries, Neytiri smoothly reminds Jake to be not excessively severe with Loak, to which Jake communicates his anxiety as a dad for the security of his kids. In the meantime, the reprisal follow-up on the RDA supply lines doesn't agree with Quaritch, who starts a hunt mission to kill Jake. During an energetic endeavor, Jake's youngsters alongside Bug investigate further into the rainforest. Unbeknownst to them, Quaritch and his group are at a similar area investigating the site where Quaritch will see his human remaining parts. A perceptive Loak sees their presence and rapidly illuminates his dad Jake, who is made aware of the circumstance. Be that as it may, a clash happens and Quaritch's crew catches Jake's kids. Jake and Neytiri show up in time and free the greater part of them, however Bug is taken by Quaritch, who remembers him as his child. On board the boat, the RDA attempts to coercively remove data about Jake from Insect, who won't give. Evolving procedure, Quaritch tends to Bug as his child and furthermore to make sense of more about the Navi in return for his opportunity on his side. Despite the fact that unhelpful and ignorant about Quaritch's genuine mission, Bug shows Quaritch Gnostic's culture. Quaritch is likewise effectively ready to tame an Ikran flying animal as his vehicle. Realizing the peril, Bug's information on his whereabouts postures to their well-being, and furthermore to stay away from another fiasco, Jake persuades a hesitant Neytiri and his family to oust themselves from the Omaticaya group and retreat toward the eastern seaboard of Mekaina, a coral reef island whose faction and way of life is adjusted to Pandora's seagoing living space. Jake gives his central mantle to his replacement and passes on altogether to Mekaina. Once showed up, they are welcomed by the group boss Tanawari and his better half Ronald, who is dubious of them at first. Nonetheless, Jake makes sense of their circumstance and they are consented to remain and given cover. Despite the fact that a few tribesmen criticize Jake and his youngsters for their hereditary human legacy, the family learns the methods of the reef individuals, gaining the appreciation of them. Kiri is interested with the oceanic existence of Mekaina and fosters an otherworldly bond with the ocean and its animals, while Loak gets to know Cyria, the girl of faction boss Tanawari and his better half Ronald. While adjusting to their new climate, Loak gets into a battle with Cyria's sibling Aonung when he pokes an unrefined fun at Kiri and him of their blended human genealogy. Jake rebukes his child for his way of behaving. At Jake's demand, Loak gets back to apologize to Aonung and his companions. Notwithstanding, they captivate him to an outing into the domain of a risky ocean hunter and leave him abandoned as a retribution. The ocean hunter attempts to go after Loak. Notwithstanding, Loek is saved by and becomes friends with Payakan, a Tulkun, an insightful and pacifistic cetacean species whom the Metkayina think about their profound family. Upon his revisitation of Metkayina, Boss Tanawari, who became mindful of Aonung's activities on Loek, requests that the previous apologize to Loek. In any case, Loek assumes the fault on himself, winning Aonung's companionship. He is additionally informed that Payakan is a pariah among his species. In the interim, out traveling to a branch off of the Tree of Spirits, Kiri joins with it to meet her mom, yet experiences a brutal seizure. She is recuperated by Ronald, yet when Jake calls Norm Spellman and Max Patel for help, Quaritch can follow them to the archipelago where the reef individuals reside. Carrying Bug with him, he lays hold of a whaling vessel which is hunting Tulkuns to reap their mind chemicals for making hostile to maturing cures. Quaritch starts to fiercely scrutinize the native clans about Jake's area, bombing that. He arranges the whaling team to wantonly kill the Tulkuns to draw Jake out. Loek intellectually connects with Payakan and discovers that the Tulkun was projected out on the grounds that he conflicted with the methods of his species and went after the whalers who killed his mom. At the point when the Metkayina learn of the Tulkun butchers, Loek takes off to caution Payakan, trailed by his kin, Cyria and Aonung. They find Payakan being pursued by the whalers, and Loek, Kiri, and Tuck are caught by Quaritch. With their youngsters at serious risk, Jake, Neytiri, and the Metkayina set off to face the people. Quaritch powers Jake to give up, however, seeing his spirit sibling endangered, Payakan assaults the whalers, setting off a battle which kills the majority of the team and fundamentally harms the vessel, making it sink. Medium salvages Loek and Insect, however, is lethally shot. Jake faces Quaritch, who involves Kiri as a prisoner. At the point when Neytiri does likewise with Insect, Quaritch at first denies his child, yet halts when Neytiri cuts Bug on the chest. Jake, Quaritch, Neytiri, and Tuck end up caught inside the sinking vessel. Jake chokes Quaritch into obviousness and is safeguarded by Loek and Payakan, and Kiri brings ocean animals to help her save Neytiri and Tuck. Bug finds and safeguards Quaritch, however passes on him because of his savagery towards the Nausicaa and putting his objective to kill Jake's family over being his dad and turning into a decent man, driving him back to rejoin Jake's loved ones. After Medium's burial service, Jake and his family choose to forever remain with the Metkayina.